get it tonight.
Hey, what's up you guys, Jack here. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make a Zone Wars map similar to GOATED. If you don't know what the map is, I'm pretty sure you know what it is, but if you don't, there's 4 different corners and every corner has 4 players maximum, and then there's a zone in the very middle and everyone's brought into the middle by that zone, and then the team last standing wins the game. Alright, so before we get started, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, use code JackjackHD in the item shop if you do want to support me, greatly appreciated. And let's get right into it. Alright, so we're gonna load a new island. We're gonna start up a new island, and what we're gonna use is Meadow Island. And I'm gonna go ahead and call this Zone Wars. There you go. Alright, so now that we're on the island, right to the game settings, to my island. We're gonna go and change the settings for the game mode so we don't have to deal with it later. So in the voice chat, we're gonna set this to all. Teams, we're gonna set this to 4 because we want 4 teams in this game mode. Spawn limit, we're gonna set this to 1. You want everyone to have 1 life. Total rounds, we can set this to whatever you want. I'm gonna set it to 10. Time limit, I'm gonna set this to none. Team rotation, if you want, you can set this to every round. It just makes people spawn at different locations, at different corners of the map, instead of only spawning at one spot for every round. I'm gonna set it to every round. Last standing ends game, turn this to on, so last team standing wins the game. Join in progress, I'm going to set this to spawn on next round. So if the game has already started and someone joins the game, after the round ends, they actually join a random team. Game start countdown, I'm going to set this to off. This just, sometimes gets annoying. People just want to play. So no countdown will show up when the game does start. Alright, to the settings tab. Time of day, I'm going to set this to 4 p.m. so it's daytime at all times. Starting shields, I'm going to set this to 100% so everyone starts with full shields. Infinite resources, I'm going to turn this to off so people don't have infinite resources. This is all up to you. If you want people to have infinite resources, you can set this on. But I'm going to keep it at off. Building can destroy environment, I'm going to set this to no. Environment damage, I'm going to set this to off. Structure damage, make sure this is set to all. Don't change this settings. Some people might think that structure damage should be on none. If you have it set to none, it just means that you won't be able to do damage to other people's builds. So make sure structure damage is set to all. Down but not out, this is all up to you. You can set this to on. This will actually let people get knocked instead of being instantly eliminated. Fall damage, you can set this to on. Glider redeploy, set this to off. Health granted on elimination, I'm going to set this to 50, so if you ever get elimination, you will get 50 health from that elimination. Other options you can look at if you want, you can also set wood granted on elimination. If you want people to get materials anytime they get elimination, you can set this up so people get materials after every elimination. I'm going to keep this on 0, but that's just an option if you want to get into that. Alright, UI tab. In the UI tab, this is just preference. You can set this however you like. You can set game score display time to 10 seconds. Round score display time, I'll set this to like 4 seconds. Next option, score tiebreaker. This is how you set up the scoreboard and how the scoreboard would look. I'm going to set this to eliminations, damage dealt, eliminated, then health. Alright, so back out of that. That is the game settings for the Zone Wars that we'll be making. If you're newer to Fortnite Creative and all these settings, make sure you change the settings that I only changed so you don't run into any issues. Alright, so now let's get into building the map. This map is actually a pretty simple map to make, to be honest. So hopefully you guys get your map working and have fun with it. Alright, so we're going to go back to my island, then we're going to slide over to Creative. What we're going to do is grab a few galleries. So to the gallery tab, we're going to get the colored galleries. We have the obstacle course gallery blue. And then we got the green one, orange, red, and purple. We also have the white one here. I'm going to go ahead and use the blue, green, and red, then purple. And I'm going to equip it to my quick bar. Just like that. So next what I'm going to do is go to the corner of my map. I'm going to place down the galleries here. So take out your phone and I'm going to select all the galleries that I had in my hotbar and I'm going to place it out here. I'm going to place it just above each other. Alright, next what I'm going to do is go somewhat in the middle of the map. Right about here is about the middle of the map. I'm going to go to devices next to galleries, and I'm going to select a mutator. So in the mutator, I'm going to go into the settings. I'm going to change zone width to 30, zone depth to 30, then confirm. Alright, so with that, we have a dimensions. We have a perfect dimensions all around the mutator. And what I'll actually do is use this as a measurement so I know where to place the boxes for the different teams. So now I'm far away from the arena. I'll go to devices and I'll equip the team settings in inventory. Place that. Now in here, what you want to do is actually place what you want for the game mode for all the players to use on default when they do spawn in the game mode. I'm going to stick with weapons that are pretty popular for people to use in game modes. So legendary scar, legendary pump, some minis, and like 2 floppers. Maybe a big pot. Now that you have that, what you want to do is actually drop all the items that you have in your inventory. In order to do that, open up the options again and slide over to the plate tab. In the plate tab, now you can see your inventory. Go ahead and drop the items in the team settings and inventory. If you remember, in the game settings, we didn't have infinite ammo and infinite resources. So we need to drop the ammo and resources as well. In consumables, you'll see the materials. Go ahead and select those. Shotgun ammo, AR ammo, SMG ammo. Heavy bullets for sniper ammo. And medium bullets for the assault rifle. Once you have that, go and drop it into the team settings and inventory. Now what you put in your game mode is all up to you. This is just my preference and this is what I would do to my map. You can get creative and design your game mode however you like. I'm going to get started building. I'm going to take one of the walls. I'm going to take the blue wall first. Alright, so now that I have the wall, I'm going to place it on the edge of the mutator. And try to line it up with the mutator in the middle. Just like so. I'm going to make this 5 squares large. And 2 squares high. I'll take a ramp and then place it in the middle, like so. I'll take a wall, place it on the edges, like that. I'll make the ceiling. I'll place one ramp in the middle, in the box. Put a wall behind it and a wall off to the side. And then I'll take a floor and I'll build a second floor. Now I was thinking of making it exactly how I see other people building it, but I'm kind of being unique with this and make my own design version. So up here will be the consumables and the weapons. From the outside, I'll go to devices and I'll place down launch pads. Place one off to here. And place another one over here. If you want, you can actually fill in this here. Fill in the bottom of the ramp so you can't go underneath that. I'm going to take this designed wall and then I'll use this as a type of patch. There we go. I'll go to devices and then place down player spawns. There we go. And I'll change the settings of all the player spawns in this base. Team 1, use as island start, no. Visible during games to no. And I'll change all the player spawns to that settings. Next, with the items in your base, what we'll do is use the item spawner. And then place it in the middle of a tile. I'll go into the settings, change the settings. Time before first spawn, I'll set this to instant. Time between spawns, I'll set this to 1 second. Now that I have that, I'm going to click on the right on the D-pad. Then I'll click on the floor underneath it. And then I'll duplicate the item spawner. Alright, so now that I have that, I'll leave it up to you guys how you guys want to set up the item spawners. What you'll have to do is just go to devices and consumables and choose whatever you want from these. So choose the weapons you want. And then walk over all the item spawners and then just drop one weapon or consumable into it. Now a little tip, if you do place down a consumable, you might want to change the settings. Time between spawns, I suggest you turning this to like 15 seconds. You don't want people to, have too much of these consumables. Once you're done that, it should look something like this. Another thing I will do is actually go to galleries, and then I'll go to also, of course, part gallery. And I'll open up that gallery by clicking on open. It's my Y button on my Xbox controller. And you can actually use this and put a number on the top of your base, indicating what team it is. So this is team 1. I'm going to hold on the Y button. Now I have a 1. I'm going to rotate it. With the options on the left side of the screen, what I'm using is simply the resize access. Now that I have the 1, I'm resizing it, and I'm just going to place it at the top here, just like so. Now, of course, if you're building a base that's team 2, you can always set up, a 2 above it. Same thing goes with the team 3 and team 4 base. If you want, you can always be creative and have fun building your own base and designing it however you like. Get creative. That's what I encourage you guys to be creative and design your map from your creativity. So once you've built one base, you want to duplicate it 3 more times. So now you got to actually replicate what you did and make it on another corner. And how we're going to do it, we're actually going to use a different color for every corner. So our first base was made out of this blue gallery. What we'll do now is actually use another color. Now, if you remember everything that you need to do to make a base, you can always pause the video and just continue building. Make sure it's aligned with the mutator so your map is straight. Now, if you're making the small base, what you can actually do is copy all the item spawners by clicking on the right on the D-pad. I'm on controller, so I don't know how it is for mouse and keyboard. But once I have everything copied and everything highlighted, what I can do is actually click one of the walls from the outside. I'll use this one, for example, and then I'll copy it. And I'll take it to another base that doesn't have the item spawners set yet. And then I'll copy it here. And then it should have the item spawners set. Alright, so once you're done, the map should look something like this. Alright, so once you build all your 4 bases, make sure that it has all the item spawners placed and also all the player spawns. What you want to do is go through all the bases. What we actually did to all our bases, we actually added numbers at the top of it. So for example, this is team 1's base, and we do have a 1 here. Inside, we have the player spawns, and the player spawns are all set to team 1. So all the team 1 players actually spawn in this base. Same thing with team 2. Team 2, we actually have all the player spawns set to team 2. So all the team 2 players spawn in team 2's base. Then obviously same thing with the team 3 base and the team 4 base. The team 3 base has the player spawns all set to team 3. And the team 4 base has all the player spawns set to team 4. I have to include that just because I do know for a fact that some people might miss that and might not know that they have to do that. Alright, so once you have all that settled and everything is complete, what you want to do is go to the mutator in the middle of your map and delete the mutator. The middle of the map is right in this box here. And what we're going to do is go to devices, and in devices we're going to go to basic storm controller. Go ahead and select the basic storm controller. Now this is the basic storm controller. What we're going to do is place it in the middle of this square. So on the basic storm controller, here are the settings that you need to change. Initial radius, have this at 200 meters. End radius, 5 meters. Wait time, 30 seconds. Resize time, 2.5 minutes. Damage, this is all up to you. I have it at 5% damage per second. And that is the settings for the basic storm controller. If you want, you can always change the settings however you like, so you can adjust the storm settings. and have a storm how you want it for your zone wars. But these settings here are just what I want for my zone. Alright, so with that, what we can actually do is remove the plank or the floor. That should be it. We should start the game now. Right away we spawn, and you can definitely tell that there was no countdown, so you can go right into fighting and you know, playing the game mode. Now, one thing I can say is the storm is made how I want it. If you want to adjust the settings of the storm and make it faster, you can go right ahead. So the storm will actually go in the middle of the map, which is about here, and the storm will close in to right in the center here, and that is the zone words, you guys. Now, if you want, you can always make a pregame lobby. I'll show you guys real quick how to make a pregame lobby for your map. You can take one of the walls from the gallery. If you want, you can always use another gallery in the gallery section. So I made a simple box just like this. Everyone knows how to do that. What you do is you just make sure it's away from the map or arena, and then what we can do is actually hold down the left analog stick, and then you'll see your character going, meaning that you can phase through things. You take a wall and then phase through the floor. Then you can continue placing the wall. We'll go above ground, take a ceiling or floor, and then place it underneath like so. From down here, what I'll do is actually design a pregame lobby, and I'll make sure that I'm about like 2 floors underneath the ground. You can actually see the grass here. I'm 2 floors underneath the ground, and then I'll make the platform, make a floor that goes along the bottom of the map, and then I'll continue building the walls around my pregame lobby. Then I'll build the ceilings. Then from that, I'll go to devices and then place down the player spawns. You don't need that much player spawns for pregame lobbies when you do spawn in a person's map. Usually it only uses 1 player spawn. From there, we need to go into the settings, and we got to turn off a few settings. We got to set team to none. And also, if you do have privileges to publish maps, you can always have visible during games set to no. But if you can't publish maps, you know, this option won't make a big difference. Now that you have that, if you ever jump into a rift for your island, you'll always spawn in this pregame lobby. And what's cool about being underneath the map, you can't pickaxe each other. So if you can't publish your maps and, you know, put down a mutator that stops people from, you know, hurting each other, you can actually put your pregame lobby underneath the map so you can't do any damage to each other. Alright, so once you're happy with your map and everything is done, what you can actually do, if you want, you can always delete your galleries and you know, remove this, because it might be kind of weird when you start the game and you do see galleries off to the side floating. Alright guys, so that is it. That is how to build a Zone Wars similar to GOATED 4V4V4V4. If this video helped you guys out and you guys learned something from it or even made your map, make sure to leave a like on this video. If this video helped you out, you can always let me know in the comments down below. But main thing is, for the people that are struggling with making this map, make sure that you copy all the settings that I changed. So follow my instructions correctly. Subscribe for more videos from me. If you guys enjoy this type of content, subscribe and turn on notifications. I stream on YouTube, so you can always turn on notifications and you'll be notified of any time I do stream. Use code JackjackHD in the item shop if you do want to support me. Greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching my detailed explanation video on how to build this Zone Wars map, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys. Peace.